The 2024 NASCAR season kicks off this weekend with the iconic Daytona 500. Defending champ Ryan Blaney is looking to go back-to-back, but according to Denny Hamlin, the big teams are poised to dominate this year. Hamlin dropped a bombshell prediction on his podcast, claiming the introduction of the next-gen car last season leveled the playing field briefly. But now, the powerhouse organizations like Gibbs, Hendrick, and Penske have figured it out. Smash that subscribe button and let's start the video. First up, let's recap exactly what Hamlin said on his podcast. He explained that 15 different drivers made last year's playoffs thanks to getting a win in the first season of the next-gen car. The introduction of a completely new chassis blew the competition wide open in 2023. Smaller teams like Petty GMS, Cowlig Racing, and Front Row Motorsports were able to hit the setup right and pull off unexpected victories. But now Hamlin believes the race winner count is going to plummet as the big teams maximize their advantages again. With a year of experience running the next-gen car, the top organizations have deeper resources and simply more knowledge at this point compared to the underfunded teams. Hamlin said, once they figure things out, they have an advantage. You're not just going to be able to overcome. The resources eventually catch up. To support his theory, Hamlin pointed out drivers like Michael McDowell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and AJ Allmendinger, who all scored fluke wins last season. If you removed just those three drivers from the mix, it would have completely changed the playoff picture and possibly put someone like Brad Keselowski into championship contention. Hamlin isn't counting out all potential upset winners in 2024. He noted drivers like Bubba Wallace, Daniel Suarez, and Chase Briscoe who are certainly capable of stealing a win here and there. And he mentioned others like William Byron who could rack up multiple victories if they hit their stride this year. But overall, Hamlin firmly believes the powerhouse teams now have a firm grasp on the next-gen car, and their advantage in resources and personnel means drivers for the big dogs like Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Kyle Larson will be battling it out for the title, while the underfunded teams will be mostly shut out. Is he right? Have the super teams already solved the next-gen car while the underdogs are left behind? Well, there's no doubt that NASCAR's elite have huge built-in benefits. Hendrick, Gibbs, and Penske have hundreds more employees, bigger budgets, state-of-the-art simulation programs and facilities, and simply decades more experience finding speed than the smaller teams. Now that the next-gen car isn't brand new anymore, it makes sense that their advantages would manifest again. However, there are reasons to be optimistic the underdogs still have a shot at competing this season. For one, the next-gen car is still extremely young. There are almost certainly handling characteristics, setup tricks, and ways to find speed that no team has discovered yet. And that creates opportunities for the scrappier, more nimble teams to make gains on the status quo. Not to mention, the introduction of the new Toyota and Ford models creates uncertainty. If one manufacturer nails the new bodywork while the others miss the mark, it could help elevate some unexpected drivers who align with that OEM. There are also talented drivers poised for a breakout scattered around the garage beyond the powerhouse teams. Daniel Suarez and his Trackhouse team made the playoffs last year and have more momentum coming into 2024. Same for Petty GMS, which put both Eric Jones and Ty Dillon in victory lane last season. And while NASCAR has been dominated by a handful of elite teams for decades, we've still seen small teams snatch the occasional win thanks to strategy gambles, pit crew execution, attrition, or just blind luck. With 36 races, there are always a few available for chaos and upsets. While the big dogs clearly have regained their footing with the next-gen car, there are still enough wild cards in play and races on the schedule to give the underdogs hope, but we'll know a lot more after the first few weeks of racing how much the frontrunners have separated themselves from the pack. First and foremost, the driver lineup looks totally different with all the big moves that went down this offseason. Kyle Busch shocked the racing world by leaving Joe Gibbs Racing after 15 years there to join Richard Childress Racing. He takes the place of Tyler Reddick, who is now at 23XI Racing. Meanwhile, William Byron and Chase Elliott remain the frontmen for mighty Hendrick Motorsports. Joey Logano and Ryan Blaney are still wheeling Fords for Team Penske and have to be considered championship favorites. And Denny Hamlin is hoping to finally secure an elusive first title in his new role as an owner-driver at 23XI. The other major storyline is the first season with completely new car models for Toyota and Ford. After lackluster seasons from Camry and Mustang in 2022, the automakers went back to the drawing board and unveiled new TRD Camrys and Mustangs for this season. Will the redesigns help those Marquez catch up to the dominant Chevrolets? Or will Bowtie Brigade drivers like Blaney, Elliott, and Byron continue their dominance? The last big change is an overhauled qualifying format featuring heated elimination rounds and passing bonus points up for grabs. That should really spice things up on Fridays and Saturdays before the main races. And NASCAR seems to have positive momentum coming off a highly entertaining playoff battle last year. Tons of unknowns, variables, and things that will shape how the 2024 season ultimately shakes out. It looks poised to be a thriller with tightly packed racing and a wide-open, unpredictable championship chase. There you have it, race fans. Denny Hamlin's bold predictions for the 2024 NASCAR season. Do you think he's right that the big teams will dominate, or can the underdogs still rise up and stun the so-called super organizations? Let me know all your takes on Hamlin's comments, the championship favorites, new cars and drivers, and everything we have to look forward to this year. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated. Thanks for watching.